Hey, Zach. Okay, I'm going to get started while we wait for Eric, just because I know we have a lot to cover. Just on some high level status updates of where we are in terms of testing. So of the testing scenarios, we have 231 like line items, which includes all of the like nitty gritty of like add item to cart and all of that stuff. But we have 231 of those. 185 of them have been passed, so it's about 80%. 16% are still yet to be run, and 2% are on hold, and 2% have been failed. The things that have not been run yet have been like lower priority items, like confirming that forget my password emails are sent, and some of the CRM tagging stuff that Crystal has been working on that she's been working on it, but I just need to loop back and make sure I'm getting an update from her on where she is with all of those.
Which stuff are you talking about?
She was working on making sure that all the tagging is in place.
Yeah, we haven't done any of that stuff yet. So no one's.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kathy, that was that email yesterday that Crystal said that it's not completed yet. So she's going to have to.
I know it's not completed. Yeah, I have it as not run yet.
Okay, cool. We just asked her to totally hold on. I mean, I asked her to hold on testing completely. So.
Yeah,
just so we can check in on this, what is the Sean? Help me understand what the status is of doing it. You guys have to wait till a certain point.
I haven't started on it yet because we've just had a lot of other stuff. So I'm starting to work on it. I'm going to try to get it done as best I can. It's just, it's not I don't know if you know this, but it took us a month to get through the stupid meetings to even get a spreadsheet together for this. It is not, Kathy knows this because it was incredibly tedious and it's still not clear. Like I'm looking at it now and I'm like, I still don't know what I'm doing on this. So I'm trying.
It's not clear, and it's not clear from our own team, or it's not clear from Global E.
It's not clear from anybody, to be fair. It's just a hot mess. It had been the whole time. So I'm just trying to figure out how to get the data. If I can figure out how to get, like, it's all mapped in the spreadsheet, but we're not dealing with Haan, we're dealing with Benoit. So it was, we'll just put it out there that it's a very difficult. This particular part of it is going to be a very difficult process. So,
okay.
But I'm trying.
I know Crystal. I don't think Crystal's on this call, right?
No.
And
yeah. But there's a ticket. It's 8:49, and once that gets into done, then we'll let her know. But yeah, she shouldn't be testing.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, I asked them to hold, and I told them as soon as it's done, I'll obviously route it to them right away.
And
yeah,
Sean, I know you.
Sure, Sean, if there are any open kind of ambiguous items that our analytics team needs to help wrangle, that Crystal's aware we're going to count on her to do that. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, and it's not that. So we went through this laborious exercise of mapping what we have on our side to what they have on their side. And it took us seriously 5-6 hour long meetings to get through it. It was horrible. But that was a while back. And so now it's just a matter of, okay, so this all makes sense to Benoit. It doesn't make sense to me. Because I have to take data from their iframe and basically pull it out and then map it. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just getting started. If I can figure out how to get the data, then it should all be pretty straightforward, but that's what it is. Anyway, we're just, nobody needs to be doing anything with it yet, but it's my top priority to try to get done.
Okay.
And do you anticipate being able to get that done early next week?
I don't anticipate anything. I'm going to try, but, we'll have to see.
Is this, I guess I'm just trying to understand if we, what our either fallback is if we don't have this complete we're supposed to be dev complete by the end of next week. So if you still need to do dev work on it, Crystal still needs to test it, potentially find bugs, redo dev work.
Well, let me be honest with you. Are you considering this a blocker?
I guess that would be a question more for our analytics team than me.
So guys, just to kind of wrap this, because there's so many other things we have to do, I think we should take this offline. I think Crystal should be aware of timing. Kathy, if you can help with that. And then if we can just have a check-in with Sean, like maybe end of day Tuesday, Sean, you can just help us understand, like, things are going fine, don't worry about it, or things are still a mess and this might not be ready for launch.
Yeah,
Versus
and just
trying to figure it out today when you're just starting. It's like, not,
And just knowing that, I mean, obviously the normal operative thing is, we get stuff out, then we layer in the tracking. I mean, we have tracking tickets in this build from 4 releases ago, right? So to be fair, it's not going to be a blocker, right? It is what it is. So, but yeah, I'll keep you guys updated.
Okay, thank you. Some of the last items that still have not been tested yet are testing on restricted product. We had gotten that fix a little bit late in the game, but Jess has confirmed that it worked on demo. I just haven't had a chance myself to test it in development. So I'm not really worried about that one, but it is still pending testing. And then getting some of our operational reports back from globally in terms of duty drawback, performance reporting, and all of that. So those are high level, what are still yet to be run, that's sitting in that 16%. On hold, there are a couple scripts that I need that proxy service to be able to do, like accessing the website from unsupported GE countries. We only have that drop down for GE countries and our redirect countries. So accessing the site as if I'm coming in from Russia, which is not a GE country, is not possible right now. So I just have those on hold, but I feel pretty confident that we know what happens when you access the site from one of those countries.
I mean, I have if you need to run through stuff, just let me know. I can go anywhere. And I'm outside.
Kathy, thank you, Sean. I think that's a good option. But Kathy, do you know where Lisa and IT counterparts stand on securing that for you?
Yes, they are. They just sent back the final revision, so it's just a matter of Haan accepting those revisions, and then we should be good to go, is my understanding.
Okay. I will get on Lisa about that to make sure that moves ahead, and then we can lean on Sean's option if we need to.
Hey, Kathy, just want to confirm for you. So hiding products is working in dev as well.
Okay, awesome. If you have a style that you've already set up to be hidden from certain countries, can you just send that to me so I can look at it and I'll just pass the script?
Yep, I'll Slack it to you right now.
Awesome. Thank you, Zach. Yep. And the last item on hold is that we have a script about we're supposed to be able, our customers are supposed to have a transactional email sent when the product is received in the country. And Gila's still working on a way to get me that email for one of our test scripts. They haven't been able to send it to me, so I haven't been able to validate it. So still waiting on that. Any questions on outstanding test scenarios that we have left for next week?
I don't think so, Kathy. Is it okay of me to ask at this point, in terms of the testing that has been done, for some more visibility from you, Matt, on kind of end-to-end validation? I'm using that term loosely, but validation of downstream systems beyond kind of what the front-end UAT is that Kathy's doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully you can hear me all right. So moving out of kind of putting out fires and tracking down specifics, and going to move into the kind of goalpost 5 standard scenarios. So with the tracking down, there are 3 bugs that we're tracking right now. 2 are packing slip based, and 1 is discount based. But given that and kind of the other fixes, also in parallel, Margarita is checking SAP Vision and RL on the back end. There were a couple of things that came up this morning, whether or not those are Aptos or ours. I'll follow up with her on that, make sure that she's solid. Then moving forward, I'm going to start a new set of orders for that follow the goalpost scenario, and hope to have those in processed across globally and us by as early as possible next week.
What do you mean by follow the goalpost process? What do you mean by that?
That means those GPU, all of the testing scenarios that I ran for each payment processor. I'm going to look at globally as another payment processor. So the single product, the single product return, the multi-product split route, return one, the split route, cancel one, return one, and the multi-quantity, multi-product, cancel all. So really leveraging the goalpost checks on those scenarios with globally much more kind of high level systematically with those orders.
So how can we get visibility into which systems have been validated for the orders that were already placed?
Right. So Kathy and I talked about that. I started adding them to the cross-border E2E test log shared drive. So I'm putting them on the order log, and then I'm doing all the 3P validation on the order log. Some of them have fixes, for example, that are already in, like the 2-day shipping and EOM. But I'm checking those, and then I'm also I added in a tab called 3P, which are my more specific targeted checks. Then last, those goalpost ones will be at the bottom of test scenarios. So the sanity checks using goalpost are on test scenarios. The order log will have a column called 3P for each of the 3P checks on the order log. And then I added a tab called 3P for my very targeted initial sanity checks for the 3Ps.
Okay. I know Margarita was starting to validate yesterday according to your schedule. So do we know when we anticipate her to have feedback by? Just because there's not a whole lot of orders, but I don't know what else she's got going on.
Yeah, there was follow-up this morning on our 9 o'clock call, and there was a little more analysis and potentially some Aptos checks. So that we're in the feedback loop already, and I will circle back with her. She uses Skype chat more, so I have a Skype chat out to her, and I will connect with her before end of day to see where she's at and what other scenarios she needs to check. And Reverse Logic was locked for some reason, so Steve Hogue showed me how to unlock it, and I just processed another return for her kind of sanity checks. But the feedback loop is open, and before end of day, I'll have a better sense of what passed and what didn't, specifically for the order log, vision, and SAP 3P line checks.
Okay. What about sales audit? Is that in scope for checking, or do we need to?
Yeah, that's part of kind of the collective Margarita checks. I might be using SAP wrong. Should I say SA, SAP, Vision, RL? All those I can
SA.
check with her.
So Matt, it's SA and then Vision, and then yeah, those are the systems she typically checks.
SA Vision and RL.
No, you're doing RL. It's an endpoint. She'll check returns in SA and Vision.
Got it. I thought RL was another returns.
And then we're flowing orders, quote unquote, flowing orders in test environments to Radial, routing to stores, and routing down through SAP to make sure that those flow as expected.
Yeah. Yep. We have routing down to stores.
What about the other ones I mentioned?
We have stores, both Greenland locations and Radial.
Okay. And then I think one of the feedback points I had just written back was who's validating EOM, Salesforce Commerce Cloud, and Customer Service Center?
I am.
Okay. So those would be included. And sorry if that's in the tab. I just didn't. Oh, yeah, it's in there. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. And I was just slacking about one. Like I see, thanks for clarifying and bearing with me on that. But I see Salesforce Commerce Cloud feeds are in place. Norvar feeds are in place. Reverse Logic feeds were already being checked, and those are in place. And now, there's like minor things like I see the return data in the Business Manager for Salesforce Commerce Cloud, but I don't see it in CSC. And I haven't really checked CSC before, so it might be I'm just not looking in the right place. But I'll be following up on that.
Yeah, we should see returns, cancels, appeasements, and shipments very much similar to the way that you see it in my account. Like you kind of see it listed under each item. So if those are missing, then that would be an issue.
Yeah, it's good to go in my account. It's good to go in the Business Manager, and I don't see it in the CSC. So I'll make sure that's cleaned up. I don't know if it's
Oh, well, sorry. To rephrase, on appeasement, we do the appeasement in the global admin. We then repeat the appeasement in EOM. EOM should push the appeasement up to CSC.
Yep, that's in progress.
That's the only one that's like a little bit different. Yeah.
Yep, as opposed to cancels, which are they email us and then those originate system-wise from EOM. Yep. Yep, 100%. So all 4 of those are going to be checked in CSC as part of the SFCC checks.
Okay.
And there was something a little funky on the front end. Like it looks like there's a product level promotion automatically applying to orders. Because I was doing promotion checks, and promotions are allowed in Global E orders, is my understanding. So I was doing like the Sarah product, Sarah order checks. But I am seeing a discount for products.
Yeah, promotions should only be applied to specific countries. The majority of countries should not have them. So we would have test scenarios for each of those, right, Kathy?
So from my understanding would be that we would take care of that logic on the front end. So we have those countries that are not allowed sale and promotions in those customer groups, and they would not see a promo box to be able to enter it or be able to see like sale pricing. I was not expecting there to be additional logic in like the downstream systems to accept or not promo codes, like whether or not it's
agreed.
So as a blanket statement, GE orders should accept promo codes because we do have some countries that need promos.
Yeah. And Matt, were you just meaning that you were placing some front end orders and seeing that you were allowed to? What did you mean?
Yeah, let me clarify. So we had an order that failed to load into EOM that I placed earlier, and the reason was it has multiple product promotions on it. So looking at the development site, right, for Global E, there's an automatic 5% off shoes promo that's applying right now in Canada, right? So there is a 5% off shoes promo. It's on the product detail page and it applies in the cart. Then I added another product code, the Sarah product, on top of that. And a third code, the Sarah order, an order level discount on top of that. So by overkilling the scenario, the use case, will there be multiple of the same type of promo potentially?
So Zach and Kathy, we shouldn't have front end orders with stackable promotion codes. Like that's pretty rare, right? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that there's test orders that have multiple promo codes stacked on them?
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's a 5% off shoes that's automatically applying. Then I added 2 more promotions on top of that.
Matt, do you see that 5% off the promo?
Can I just add some clarity?
Orders?
Can I just add some clarity?
Yeah.
So it's SAE that's applying to the orders, right? And then the 5% off is the Sarah product coupon code, and the Sarah order is 10% off, and it's an order level discount. I just don't want us confused on what's what.
Oh, so those probably are set up to stack. Yeah.
Yeah, product level code and an order level code. Like SAE can stack with a coupon code because SAE is product level, and then coupon, an order level coupon code can stack on top of that.
And the issue here isn't that. The issue here is that it's a product level promotion with another product level promotion on top of it. So that's what the issue is. And Sarah or someone else, can you just speak to the viability and if we're actually doing that?
Well, Zach, I think that the Sarah order, the Sarah product promo is actually the one that's automatically applying, but we were messing with the setup yesterday, so it might just be how it's set up. So let me take a look. But yeah, they're not supposed to stack with each other.
Yeah, correct. Like there's not necessarily as a rule one way or the other. Like SAE, like I built like SAE is set to be able to stack to an order level like kicker code, but doesn't necessarily stack with all coupon codes or anything like that. So it really all depends on how the specific promos are set up.
Cool. Okay, understood. Thanks for clarifying that, Donald. And just quickly, what is SAE?
It's the semi-annual event. It's the sale we're running right now on the site.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So I will not pursue like multiple product level promotion codes as an error. that's like not a use case, and I will prevent that from my tests moving forward. So basically, that's the update here. Then I'm
What-
gonna run the
one more question on the 3Ps. That seems to have come up in email, so I might as well just tackle it now. So the way I had explained, I guess maybe too presumptuously, I had explained to Narvar that they could look for globally orders by looking at the payment type, because to my knowledge, tender type is passed to them on all orders. And Eric, you mentioned to me that you didn't know that was a requirement. Can you just help me understand if it's possible and why we wouldn't be passing it the same for all orders?
I'll have to look into it.
Oh, okay. So they're trying to configure everything we need. So I need to let them know.
Yeah, I
today
mean,
if
is
they're
it
gonna
not
see it.
is it not possible that they can configure it off of the shipping method
They
component?
might be able to, but it
we
all
should
goes
ask.
back
We
to
should.
a lot of
We should.
conversation.
We should definitely ask the question in anticipation.
We can ask the question. I'm just trying to go back to what we agreed on with Narvar, which from a business standpoint was now we're going to utilize very much like canned rules that they are able to easily set up without a developer involved. So we were trying to go off of something we know is already existing, and that is tender type. I'm not sure ship method is actually anything we use for anyone else. So my gut senses are going to say that doesn't exist, but you can let me know today. They're kind of having to sit on hold and getting ready for this because I told them that we weren't sure about what we had said.
Yep, I'll do my best.
Just FYI, confirming that the promotions, it was a setup issue, so you won't see any of those issues anymore.
Sweet. I love it when a bug is closed before I even open it. Oh, no, actually, I did open a bug on that. I will close it. Thanks for that.
No problem.
So we can spend the last few minutes kind of going over maybe higher priority bugs that are currently logged with either Globally or Haan, or if anyone else had any kind of high priority things they wanted to discuss today to make sure that we're on track for next week. Please let me know.
Kathy, if it's okay, I just have a couple questions and then I'm going to have to drop before you guys go through bugs, just because that might go over. I just want to make sure we're aligned on responsibilities for testing, kind of testing leads between now and launch, and then what happens when we go live. So conversations I had this week with Kathy and with Sean leave me with the thought that Matt and Kathy are responsible for seeing through the testing getting done between now and launch. So UAT, regressions, and getting to launch. And then for launch, we're going to reach out to Globally and make sure that they are doing the production testing. And that is like more order level specific testing. And then Sean, I think what Kathy and I would like is if Kazi could just document how he wants production testing to happen by them in the future. We would just pass that to them and basically ask that they agree to it. Just like a few simple steps on kind of what he normally does with like Affirm or international checkout, et cetera, just so that we're not kind of mucking that up and getting it wrong. If he can just send us a quick overview of what he wants, and we would introduce him to Globally and make sure that they're able to commit to that.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So Matt, you're on board to run through launch and leadership with all the validation and everything with Kathy, knowing that you two might have to reach out to others, but in terms of leadership, it's you and Kathy?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. I think that was all. If you guys are going to dig into specific bugs, I am going to drop, and I'll just catch up with Kathy next week.
All right. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, guys.
So I think this crew would not be interested in going over the bugs that Global East still has to fix, but please someone shout out if I'm wrong. I can just stay focused on the Kohan items. So I'll just go over high and medium priority items. These are all, I'm keeping a list of these and a bug list on that end-to-end test log that I had sent out a few weeks back. But if anyone needs a link or would like to reference this list, please let me know. Zach, I don't know if we have actually talked about this, but the phone numbers page that we had set up, it looks like the phone numbers are not actually going to be ready for us to publish in time for launch. So in the meantime, I think we're just going to remove the phone numbers, like all the links to that page that we had set up. So I can send you more details on that, but that is one of the tickets that I have open for us. And I didn't log that with it's not like a JIRA ticket or anything yet. That was just something I have on my bug tracker.
Okay, so what is like going to be the plan for those pages? And are we just because we still want to hide the phone? Do we still want to hide the phone number from those countries, or do we just want to run the US one for everyone now and then add that in when it's ready?
I mean, I'm gonna look to like you and Jess for feedback on that, but we can either put the US number up and put some kind of notation that says like a number may only be accessible from the US and Canada, or we can try to take a more like personalized approach and just hide the numbers from everyone outside of the US and Canada, but leave it up for Canada. That's why I really haven't sent anything over yet, because I don't have any like hard requirements for that. I want to brainstorm with you guys next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Zach, you're on all those emails, but the sale pricing not showing up for our Global E sale countries. I have this as a high priority bug that we need to fix. It looks like it's just going to be a preference setup, but I think we need Jess in order to really get that and make sure that we're all on the same page. So that's going to sit open for the rest of this week.
Yeah, sounds good. Kathy, do you want to just like snag some time with me and Jess on Monday for us to like have a big old powwow on this stuff?
Yes, for sure.
Cool.
We have a few tickets open for packing slip updates. I have asked our Greenland team and the Radial team to update the verbiage on those packing slips. So that is one line item. And then Matt, you have logged JIRA tickets, I believe, for suppressing prices on the packing slips, as well as updating the shipping name.
Yep, those are the two.
Okay. We have updated. Zach, I had talked to Jess about this high level earlier this week, right? It was literally like on our way out of the office. Saying that we wanted to update the domestic customer service pages to include a link to the international pages, just in the event that someone finds themselves on the wrong page. Like this was something we realized when we were going through the packing slip and realized that it said, please visit kohan.com/returns. So if someone is searching online and looking in forums or whatever and gets a link to one of those pages, and that information is not actually applicable for them, I just want to have some kind of call out somewhere on the page to say, like, if your order was shipped internationally, or if you're planning to ship your order internationally, please click here, and it'll redirect them to the international like equivalent page. But that's something we can talk through on Monday when we have all of us back in the office.
Sounds good.
Matt, the other bug was the failed to load order, but I believe you had just updated right before this meeting that you had gotten that to load.
Oh, the failed to load was related to the promo code stuff, so I just closed that one.
Okay, great. So that one is closed. And then I had opened just kind of like a placeholder bug for the multiple line item order not flowing into Aptos with the correct US dollar value. And that was the issue that Margarita is currently working on. or validating that is in order. I'm not sure if it's a mapping issue or what it is, but I wanted it tracked on this sheet, so I have it here. But I know we need to check in with Margarita on that as well.
Yep. If you beat me to her, let me know.
Okay. I haven't yet.
Too much.
So that issue is it's based on the SFCC to EOM orders in map. So I already spoke to Margarita about it. It's just something that needs to be corrected within the map.
Okay, so is
So
there a
Margarita-
JIRA ticket logged for that?
Sure is.
Okay, awesome. Matt, I had put mostly as a reminder for myself, but the returns that we've processed so far, none of them have sent return reasons back into the Globally system, but I think it's because we're not putting them into our system. So I'm just going to ask you to process an additional return and just make sure that we add in reverse logics that a reason code, just to confirm that that's flowing back correctly into the Globally admin system.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I just did one for Margarita as well. There are reason codes in there.
Oh, if you can just Slack me the order number, I'll look it up in the Globally admin. Then we don't need to place a new order. Perfect.
Will do.
And then the only item that I have for Sean and Whitney would be the bug around no messaging when signing up for my account. If you already have an account, this isn't specific to Globally. It was just something I noticed while I was kind of going through this whole process.
Yeah,
So
that was fixed actually. So if you want to check it in Dev, you can, but that is ready to be released. Yep.
Awesome.
Sorry, I didn't include it on the Globally ticket since it was like also a regular
Yeah,
ticket.
exactly.
Like it was happening on the US side too. So yeah.
No worries. Okay. And that would be everything Haan owned.
Yeah, I do want to mention as far as the defects and the bugs that we have open within either the GP project or in the GP remediation project, we have 2 sprints remaining, right? So if we uncover new things, new bugs, we're going to have to take a look at how we fit them in and if it's viable to fit them in or not. At this point, if we uncover enhancements or things that are different, let's just say scope creep, then we're going to have a conversation about those, because it's highly unlikely at this point, just to be blunt and candid, that we're going to be able to accommodate extra development work that hasn't been accounted for and hasn't been planned for. So hopefully that's not shocking or news to anyone, but I just want to at least have the conversation, since this is getting to the end here, and it seems like we're potentially uncovering some new things. For example, the payment type. So I just want to at least address it on this call before we conclude.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. I think the only thing, like from my perspective, we have tested all of the priority items. Matt and I were just connecting right before this call to basically say that we're going to run through a few more, just from the downstream systems perspective. So there could be things I think that we identify next week, but I guess the only things that we'll try to prioritize those and make sure that we're discussing the ones that are absolutely like blockers only.
Yeah, and if something truly is a blocker to launch, we can just have a conversation about it and figure out what next steps are, because we're obviously here to support you, but need to draw the line somewhere.
Yep, totally understand.
Cool, thanks.
Okay, I think that is it.
All right. Thanks, bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.